Hey, George! So, I'm Izzy.
And I'm Emmy, and welcome to our podcast.
Today we're going to be reading a Hermione one-shot called The Lost Princess.
And there's no hate intended on the author, we're just making fun of the plot and how it was presented.
Yeah, so with that said, on to the Hermione fanfiction. This will be great. I'm good, how are you? We have a lot to talk about. McGonagall hugged her friend and told her to sit in the chair in front of her when she pulled away.
It looks like you've changed your office a little bit, her friend replied as she looked around. I am good as well. So, tell me, do you have a plan or something about what I suggested?
She never said I'm good. She never asked if she was good as well. She's just like, I'm good as well. She's just like, how dare you not ask me how I'm doing?
Rude.
McGonagall nodded. I do, but I would require your assistance on convincing him. While it's a great opportunity, and I don't think that she would disagree, that boy will.
I know how he can be. She shook her head. It would be a miracle if they didn't hex each other as soon as you tell them. But are you sure that she won't have a problem after everything that happened a few months back?
I know she won't have any problems. Sure, she will argue with him at first, but we all know that it wasn't his fault, and she sees the good in everyone, so I'm sure it will be okay.
Well, if you say so, her friend shrugged. Anyway, tell me about the plan.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Are they, making an arranged marriage?
Maybe?
You know what? It's called The Lost Princess. We probably should have expected that. It's probably an arranged marriage, and guess who it's gonna be?
Draco and Malfoy. No!
I'm sorry.
Draco and his father, get married in a relationship.
No!
That's even worse.
Not.
That's even worse.
Absolutely not.
Sorry.
Bad.
Draco and Hermione.
Yeah, and it'll be gross.
And they're not gonna like it, but then eventually they'll find each other and they'll actually fall in love.
They'll love each other. Yeah. McGonagall leaned in a bit closer and told her everything. As she had expected, her friend liked that plan. What's the plan? What do you mean, plan? Arranged marriage. That is a good plan. I think it will work. Maybe she will help him find the lost princess as well.
What? The lost princess?
Hermione Granger is probably the lost princess.
But she's not a princess.
She's gonna turn into, a wolf and a fairy. And then...
one of those Gacha Life 2018 sort of thing.
No. Not 2018.
Not the alpha wolf.
Oh no. Not the
hybrid.
Not the alpha dragon fairy demon angel wolf fairy princess
who's
hybrid.
Depressed and everyone hates her and then they have a scar over their eye.
Yeah, and then they have pink hair.
Yeah.
With a streak.
And then they find out that they're the lost fairy alpha princess.
And it's like in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Why did they have to do that to Penelope?
I don't know.
Nobody knows about her. Except that person. That person. Real specific. But I'm sure she will also help him. And now, how to convince him? McGonagall asked her.
Her friend grinned. Leave that to me. I perfectly know how to convince my son.
So it is an arranged marriage.
Oh no! No. I hate this.
Me too.
No.
No offense, author. Hope you aren't watching. Draco, how are you, my dragon? She hugged him tightly. When she pulled away, she saw Blazy and Theo walking towards them, and she greeted them as well.
Mother, why are you here? Not that I'm complaining, of course. What does that mean?
Explain!
But why did you just exit McGonagall's office? Draco looked at her.
My dragon, huh? Blazy and Theo smirked at him. Draco rolled his eyes at them.
I will tell you three everything. But first, we need to go somewhere else, Narcissa said and turned around, the three Slytherin boys following her. We can't really talk here, can we?
She led...
Sorry.
Stop messing with the street.
I'm sorry!
She led them to the room of requirement, and thought of the perfect place. She grinned as she walked in while Draco groaned.
I thought I had changed the colors. He examined and sat down on his bed.
Exclaimed.
I can't read.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a running theme throughout these episodes, so get used to it. We cannot read. Okay. Wow, Draco, Blazy chuckled. I thought you hated the yellow color.
You hate it so much that your bedroom at the manor is painted in that color, and most of your belongings are in that color as well. How do you hate something so much that you use it all the time? That's the complete opposite of hate.
I think that they're hinting at that he loves yellow secretly, but I don't know why they decided to give him a favorite color.
I don't know.
It's not important to the plot. You haven't seen his childhood photos yet, Theo, Narcissa smirked. I am sure that yellow was and still is his favorite color.
Can we all go back to the original matter? Draco groaned. He was sure that he had told the house elves to repaint the walls, and that also in green color.
Aw, he's a Slytherin stan.
He's a true Slytherin.
True Slytherin. You know, Tom Felton, he took the test on wizardingworld.com, and he got Hufflepuff.
Yay!
Tom Felton is a Hufflepuff.
So we have Cedric Diggory and Tom Felton now.
Yes, you do. And I am envious.
Well, who do you have?
Nobody. We have literally no one.
You Slytherins are so lonely.
Yeah, we're just in the corner, and we joined Hufflepuff because they have all the people.
I was looking up what houses most celebrities get in, and it's Gryffindor.
Ew.
Like, all those, like, pop singers are all Gryffindor.
Of course Taylor Swift would be a Gryffindor.
Yeah, and, like, Zendaya's Gryffindor, too.
Oh, Zendaya. You have got Tom Holland. There's so many British Toms, and I get them all confused.
It's okay.
British
Toms.
Tom Felton. There's Tom Felton, Tom Hiddleston, and who's the guy that played Loki? Tom Hiddleston. So
you just said that.
Oh, Tom Holland. Tom Holland.
It's okay.
Anyways, shall we? Sure, Dragon. Anything for the Slytherin Prince. The Slytherin Prince!
What? A dragon?
Why does she have so many weird nicknames? Like, I know that parents like to nickname their kids. I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
I have way too many nicknames, not all of which were given by my mother. But why does he have so many? And why are they all so cringe?
Dragon. Who calls their child a dragon?
Well, I mean, Draco means dragon in Latin. But
Yeah,
I mean, if we went with the
still.
Latin translation of everyone's name, that would be weird.
Yeah.
Theo pushed him off his bed and sat there. Draco scowled, but sat down on a chair while grumbling.
Anyways, I need to tell you all something, Draco. Narcissa looked at her son.
You're engaged!
McGonagall told me that you'll be the head boy this year.
What?
What?
You'll be the head boy this year. Why were they talking about a plan when he's gonna be head boy? Just like, oh, the plan for him to be head boy. I love this plan. What an excellent plan.
I don't think he'd be a very good head boy.
I think that they bribed his way to head boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why was you discussing that with McGonagall and not Snape?
Yes, she's not even the head of. I almost lifted my mask and face revealed. Oh yeah, by the way, 10 subscribers and I'm doing a dog reveal.
Subscribe if
Subscribe.
you want to see a cute dog.
Yeah, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Me, head boy, is Minnie McGee crazy or something? Draco shook his head. Why would she make me a Death Eater, head boy? Draco would never admit to being a Death Eater.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even like being a Death Eater.
Let's read the comments. Minnie McGee. Minnie, it's part of the plan. What plan?
Minnie McGee, his mother asked him.
That is is his nickname for McGonagall. That is his nickname for McGonagall. Ignore that, Blazy told her. But why would she make me? Why would she make him the head boy? There are people who are more talented than him, for example, me.
I have no doubt that you are more talented than Draco, Blazy, Narcissa said, and Draco gaped at her. But she chose to make him the head boy. I can't tell you why she did, but I believe it's because she wanted to give you a second chance, Draco. We all know that you were forced into doing that task, and she wants you to prove that you are not evil.
I know what's gonna happen. I think that Draco is, like, betrothed to Hermione now because he was so mean to her for his whole life, so evidently they need to get married to mend their relationship. So they're gonna get married, they're engaged right now, and they're trying to get Draco to be, like, head boy, and they're gonna, like, make it work so that way he has to do some project with Hermione, and then they're gonna get married and love each other.
But again, why is McGonagall making this decision when she's head of Gryffindor, not Slytherin?
It doesn't make sense. Oh wait, this is post-Wizarding War, so she's the principal.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, but wouldn't he be out of school then?
Yeah, you're right. None of this makes sense.
It doesn't make sense!
None of this works. Yes.
Yes. Draco nodded. Who is the head girl?
Well, firstly, you'll have to share a dormitory with the head girl. That would not happen in a school.
No.
And she is none other than Hermione Granger. Called it. She said and then waited for his reaction.
What? But he's the head boy of Slytherin, not Gryffindor.
I mean, they're probably, like, gonna make it be like, that they all have to share a dorm now because so many people died in the Wizarding War.
Yeah, because, like, most of the school got demolished from all the...
Yeah.
But wouldn't they not want to make him a Death Eater because he's... I mean, no.
Not want to make him a Death Eater,
a head
I
boy
wish.
because he's a Death Eater and he literally just, like, destroyed the whole school or, like, he helped with it.
Well, I mean, there's bribery, of course. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's McGonagall, so she wouldn't accept bribery.
She wouldn't want to, like, put the children at Hogwarts in danger.
Unless they know that, like, he really didn't want to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Draco immediately stood up. Granger, that beaver can't be the head girl. She's so annoying, irritating, and an idiot as well.
Thank you for not swearing, Draco. This is a PG podcast. Thank you for remembering. You mean she is beautiful, kind, and caring? Yeah, we know, Draco. You tell us every day about her. Theo rolled his eyes.
What?
So we're getting right off the bat, we're getting it established. Draco likes her.
Plot twist.
Plot twist.
The whole series he went along hating Hermione, but now all of a sudden he's in love with her.
She punched him. And he's like, I love her so much.
Do it again, Hermione. He probably loved it when he was punched by her.
It's the most contact he's ever had with a woman.
Oh my god. Other than his mother.
Yeah.
Narcissa narrowed her eyes at her son. You will not repeat that word, Draco Lucius Malfoy.
Oh my god, she's full naming him.
Oh no.
Not the full naming.
Not the full name. And she is the head girl, and I have no problem in saying that she is better than you. How supportive.
These are some nice parents here. These are some lovely, lovely, nice parents. Remember there was, like, in Chamber of Secrets, I think, Draco's getting scolded by his father because his grades were second best to Hermione?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just sad, and I feel like this is, like, the continuation of that, and it saddens me, because I love Draco.
Yeah, just not when he's with Hermione. Not this Draco, the Draco from the series.
Not this Draco. We love real Draco.
Yeah.
Authentic Draco.
Authentic Draco.
Authentic Draco. We are not Hermione's. We should have specified.
No, we're definitely not.
We are not Hermione's. That was probably so loud.
If you want to know what is good for you, then you will immediately sit down and listen to me.
I may or may not have found a few things that prove Theo's statement. You better sit down, Narcissa said. scandal?
He did as he was told. He didn't want to face his mother's wrath again, having experienced it a lot of times already.
Draco, you good?
Draco, are you okay? What's going on at home?
Draco? You good?
As I was saying, she is the head girl and you two will share a dormitory. And now, for the most important part, she said, you three must not repeat whatever I tell you now, or to anyone else other than Miss Granger.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
Why?
they're engaged, they're engaged, they're engaged, they're engaged, they're engaged.
How old are they in this?
Like 17?
17.
I'm assuming it's post-Wizarding War,
And this takes place in like the 80s or 90s.
I suppose.
I don't think that's okay.
Yeah, I think that is actually. Narcissa looked at Draco. Have you heard from Voldemort recently?
Isn't Voldemort dead?
Voldemort is dead. This is like
This is post-Wizarding War. He's
assuming.
gone.
Or is this like right before the Wizarding War? Because like the only students that are ever like head boy or head girl are in like their final year. And none of the people in this, I think, are in their final year. And
It
that
doesn't
would be
make any
post.
sense.
It's not lining up timeline-wise, but we weren't expecting quality. We were expecting content. And we brought it to you. If you insult me one more time, Beaver, it won't be good for you. Draco glared at her, and she glared back. Apologize right now.
When she didn't, he stood up from the couch and walked towards her. His face was just a few centimeters apart from hers. And he
Kiss.
snatched her bag and threw all the books on the ground.
Oh no!
No! No! I hate that.
Oh my god, it's the full cliche.
Those
Oh my god, no, not the books. Those poor books.
poor books.
Hashtag justice for books. This is what happens when you mess with me. He threw the empty bag at her. Don't make me angry, Granger. I can use a lot of spells on you.
What?
Oh my god, my books. You're so intimidating, Draco.
Don't mess with me, I'm a bad boy.
Don't mess with me, I'm emo. I like to talk into the mic. I'm sorry, humans.
If you wouldn't like me to turn you into a ferret, Malfoy, I suggest you apologize and go back to your room right now. Hermione picked up her books.
She's like his mom, or something.
Go to your room!
Go to your room, Draco. I've got to share a room with you forever now, but that's fine.
That is kind of her character, though, because,
Yeah,
yeah,
she's everyone's mom.
she's everyone's mom.
I'm everyone's mom. I'm not Hermione, I'm just everyone's mom.
I am not your idiotic friend, Granger. You can't boss me around like you do with Weasel and Saint Potter.
Saint Potter.
Saint Potter!
I love the scene in the book where it's like, Draco's just like, everyone thinks he's so smart, wonderful Potter with his scar and his broomstick. Is he like this with the entire, like, trio? Entire Golden Trio? He's just like, they're all amazing and I hate them so much. As soon as she heard their names, the books dropped from her hand and her jaw dropped. Draco looked at her with a strange expression. You alright? You want me to call your two idiotic friends? Not that I'll call them, of course. Aww. He wants to get help for her. They're trying to, like, make them all romantic.
No, there's no need. I'm fine.
Oh my
Hermione
God.
stuttered and immediately went to her room, leaving
She's...
her books lying on the floor.
She lagging again. Put her in some rice.
The stuttering.
The stuttering. Save it for Peter Pettigrew. Why is this? Why? You know, I'm sorry, author. You're not watching this, but you're that type of writer. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Maybe if you read more books, like the Harry Potter books.
Read
then,
before you write.
Yeah. Like, make sure what you're writing is, like, relevant to the actual story.
Yeah. Don't give Hermione a stutter. Just don't ever do that.
No.
Never.
You could write a fan fiction about them. Just don't make it bad.
Yeah, like, even if it's Hermione, please don't write Hermione. It's bad. But just, it's bad. Everything. Awful. You know, it's bad.
You're lagging now.
I'm lagging. Put me in rice. She's contagious. She's a virus, and I downloaded her, and I'm gonna lag forever. Strange, Draco muttered as he looked at her closed door.
The lagging is getting to your brain.
It doesn't. Read the sentence and tell me it makes remote sense because there's no commas.
Strange, he muttered as he looked at her closed door.
It doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, let's move on from my lag.
He wouldn't admit this if someone asked him, but he picked up her books and put them nicely in her bag. He dropped the bag in front of her door and went to his room.
Aw, disgusting.
You're supposed to be a Slytherin.
Yeah, you're supposed to hate each other. There's been no house truce. Draco's edgy. He wouldn't do that for her. He would just say that a house elf kept her bag there. Yes, that was a good idea. It really is getting to my brain. Maybe I'll drink some more water and it'll work.
A week later, Draco called his best friends to the room of requirement. He arrived before them and chose a location which definitely was not his bedroom.
I don't think there's a lost princess. Voldemort having a daughter and saying that she was the Riddle Princess, that's just weird, Blazy told them.
Riddle Princess?
Riddle Princess.
Where's that
Wait a
coming
minute,
from?
where's Cursed Child? Cursed Child. In Cursed Child, Voldemort and Bellatrix have a daughter and her name is Delphi, for those of you who don't know. And I think that it is ridiculous that they're gonna make someone be the princess. Probably Hermione. Time turner thing. However that works. Time turners.
I just hate the fact that there's a princess in the first place.
Yeah,
Because this
like,
is supposed to be about witches, like
Delphi
magic.
is not called the Riddle Princess by any means. She's called the Cursed Child because she's cursed
Yeah.
by Voldemort, by existing.
But everyone calls her the Lost Princess, Theo exclaimed. Narcissa told us that nobody has seen her since the First Wizarding War.
The first?
There's a second one?
What? Oh wait, is the first one like when Voldemort was like zapping people left and right and Harry's parents died? Is that what they're referring to as the first?
Maybe.
Voldy's daughter's that... It's Hermione. It's Hermione.
And call her the Lost Princess. Anyways, why would Moldy Voldy call her the Riddle Princess?
Moldy Voldy!
I don't think he likes that name.
That's a point for good names. I call him Moldy Voldy.
Moldy Voldy.
Moldy Voldy without a nose. I agree with Blaze, but, Draco sighed, I may have found something to prove otherwise.
The other two looked at him, their eyes wide. Go on, Blaze, he said.
You remember that I told you that Granger had a nightmare yesterday? When they nodded, he continued. When I went to wake her up, I saw that she was wearing a sleeveless top. What does that have to do with anything? He's just like, she's so gorgeous without sleeves on. You know what the members of the Riddle family... You know that the members of the Riddle family have a small tattoo of a snake and a skull similar to the dark mark on their shoulder?
Yeah, I think it was because the curse that Marvolo had hit Tom Riddle, the Muggle, with. But what does Blazy gasped as he understood what he was saying. You mean she...
Yes, Draco nodded. But I think it might be a coincidence or something. A coincidence! She has the dark mark, and you're like, she's not a Death Eater, she's too innocent. Voldemort hasn't just claimed her like he's claimed me. The brightest witch of our age. He hasn't just done that. There's no way that she can be Voldemort's daughter. She doesn't even look like him. She has a nose, you know. Yes, believe in nose loss.
Why was Draco in her room when she was sleeping in the first place?
To wake her up from a nightmare.
Oh, okay.
Keep reading.
How did he know that she was having a nightmare?
I don't know, thin walls. She's just like, ah!
But he's being so nice. He doesn't want her to suffer through the nightmare.
Yeah, so sweet. I don't like this Draco.
Instead of laughing, Theo stared at Draco. Why would she have that tattoo, Draco? It doesn't make sense. Can she be...
Draco cut him off. No, she can't be. She cannot be that, Theo. She cannot be that, Theo. There is no way that the girl Voldy has assigned his head Death Eater to find Granger.
What? Great English.
I'm
Great
sorry.
English.
I'm sorry, I can't English well. I don't English well. I'm
It's
sorry.
the writing. It's not you.
Thank you. It's getting to me. It messes with your brain.
It's okay. Keep drinking.
I'm cursed.
Keep drinking. It'll dilute the curse. Draco, Blazy stood up. I don't think there's a lost princess. Voldy would have just used that as a way to distract us. And the defected Death Eaters and the Order members. Try talking to her, will you?
Oh, talk to her. They're not good at, like, dropping subtle hints. Like, if you're gonna make him hate her and then stop hating her and then love her a lot, then I think that they should just, like, drop subtle hints that he doesn't realize he likes her. Not be like, she's so smart and pretty and I love her even though she smacked me. And then also be oblivious.
Then we will know that there's no Riddle Princess because Voldemort didn't have a daughter.
Voldemort doesn't have a daughter. Draco froze as he heard that voice. What voice?
The three Slytherins slowly turned around to face the person pointing their wand at him. Even if they were wearing a cloak, Draco knew who that person was.
Severus? But what if Voldemort had a stepbrother and he had a daughter? The person removed the cloak. Blaze and Theo gasped as they saw the brunette witch.
I don't think it's Snape.
Bellatrix. It's me.
It's you!
It's me! I'm in this fanfiction. Great.
If someone had told Draco that If someone had told Draco that the day he would be doing this, he would have either laughed at them or hexed them.
But that was not what happened that day.
As soon as the person removed their cloak, Draco took out his wand. What are you doing here, Granger? What the heck?
What's happening? Everything is everywhere. It's like the end of She-Hulk if they didn't fix it and there was like everything happening at once. Like, you know in the end of She-Hulk before she goes and escapes and then there's like everyone at the same place. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. But like everyone was at that barn at the weird meeting and then she breaks out and like fixes it. It's like that but before that happened and if it never happened and if it just the chaos kept piling up.
What she said.
Yes.
You wanted to know about the Riddle Princess, right? Hermione took a step towards them. I'll tell you everything, but first...
She quickly cast Expelliarmus on the three of them, on the three before they had a chance to point their wands at her. I can't trust you three not do anything.
Nobody except Draco had noticed that their wands were lying behind the couch. He took a step towards the couch, then looked at Hermione. How did you know we were here?
Thankfully, Hermione didn't catch much about his move. You don't know how to talk in a low voice. I heard you telling Zabini and not in the corridor before lunch to meet you here after dinner. I cast a disillusionment charm on myself, and here I am.
Draco took another step towards their wands. 3 more steps and he'll be able to grab their wands. What do you want to tell us?
Your mother told you about the Riddle Princess, or so, as people call her, the Lost Princess, didn't she? I saw the letter you had written to your mother the day before yesterday, Hermione told him.
Another step. Am I repeating myself again? What do you want to tell us? Draco asked her.
Since when is she Sherlock Holmes? Like, she sounds like at the end of a Sherlock Holmes movie and he goes to the police and he, like, explains everything. He's like, and there was, like, ash on the floor and I looked at the shoes and then there was ash on the shoes and I knew whose shoes they were and then I looked at the person and I found this at their house. She's, like, explaining it. How did she know about the meeting with their mother, though? Because she had nothing to do with that.
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
Because she's magic.
Make it make sense, people.
You actually stuttered.
I was trying to make it sound real, but I couldn't stop from laughing. I want to ask you something. What are you going to do once you find the lost princess? Will you give her to him?
What? Your stuttering was on point. You could practice with that stuff.
No! I'm not a terrible fanfiction character, I swear. I wear masquerade masks and go on the internet dressed like I belong in the 1800s. I don't read fanfiction out loud and stutter.
She used the time turner. She
Yeah.
was really born in the 1830s. She just came back.
Yes.
Just one more step. Draco sighed. The lagging's coming to meet too.
I'm contagious.
He knew
Pandemic.
he knew who she was talking about when she said him. Look, Granger, just tell us what you want to, and whatever we do is none of your business.
It is my business when you are planning to give me to Voldemort. Hermione gasped as soon as she realized what she said. She looked down at her feet and calmed herself down. Called it! This author is so transparent.
But that's not even in Hermione's, she wouldn't ever do that. She's definitely not part
Hermione-
of the royal family.
Yeah, but even if she was, Hermione is smart enough not to say that. She wouldn't just blurt that out.
Yeah,
She yells at Ron for doing stuff like that.
but not Draco. Well,
Not Draco.
actually, nah.
Hermione's the lost princess. Now it's time for her to transform. And yeah, that's gonna be what happens.
Draco immediately grabbed their wands and passed them to their respective owners. I had a doubt, and you just confirmed it. I saw the tattoo on your shoulder, and I know what it means. Explain yourself now, or I'll send you to Voldemort.
She did explain herself. She's the lost princess. And she's gonna transform any second now.
Oh my
You
gosh.
won't send me to him, Hermione exclaimed. I won't let you. You won't do that.
Granger. Draco started, but he was cut off when she hit him with the Flipendo spell.
Ooh. Attack. Draco, you are an idiot, Granger, Blazy shouted and shot a spell at her. Theo joined him, and together they dueled her.
Hermione was having a hard time in protecting herself and shooting spells at them at the same time. Blazy and Theo were great duelers, and it didn't help the matter that Hermione knew that she would likely have a panic attack soon.
Can you breathe?
Hardly.
You chose the wrong way to be faceless. I told her earlier. She chose the incorrect way. I can eat things and you still won't know what I look like. But she's gotta do a whole process.
Yeah.
I mean, she can drink things if she tries hard enough. One time I drank through a mask during the pandemic, and I didn't know, and I was just oh wait, and then I was really
yeah,
upset.
I've done that before too. I would just do this and I'd spill it all over me.
Yeah. One time I did it on purpose, and everyone got a kick out of that. Yeah.
Just the thought of sending her to Voldemort was enough to make her nervous. She knew that if they wanted, they would send her to him right now.
Hermione got distracted when Draco got up from the floor and walked towards the door to stop him. To stop him, Hermione shot the stunning spell at Draco. How can you know an obscure spell like Flipendo, but you can't know Stupefy? Giving Blaze the opportunity to hit her with Flipendo. Stop knowing that only one spell. It's evident. When you only use one spell when you write a dueling scene, it's obvious you only know that one spell.
Yeah. Granger! Draco shouted as soon as Theo shot Finite at him. He quickly walked towards them and kneeled down next to Hermione, who
It's
was
called
lying on the floor.
Finite.
Finite?
Yeah, but I don't think they spelled it right.
Granger! Draco shouted as soon as Theo shot Finite at him. He quickly walked towards them and kneeled down next to Hermione, who was lying on the floor.
I guess she hit her head on the statue. Her head is not bleeding, though. She just fainted. Blaze sat down on the other side of Hermione.
Theo sat down next to Draco. Thanks for the distraction. If you hadn't walked towards the door, she would have continued to duel with us.
Why did you shot... Why did you shot at her? Why did you shot a Flipendo at her? Draco asked Blazy. The person that that wrote this is from the ages of 9 to 11. I can confirm that. I wrote like this when I was from 9 to 11.
And their favorite characters are Draco and Hermione, and they were just like, why not have Hermione and Draco be in love, and then Hermione will be the lost princess, the alpha gotcha life princess, and everyone hates her because she's a Death Eater.
Why did you shot a flipindo at her? Draco asked Blaze.
I couldn't stun her. She had a protective shield around her that prevented Stupefy from hitting her.
So then they learned the spell Stupefy and decided to write it in.
And when she shot that spell on you, I became angry and hit her with Flipendo, Blazy told them.
Be thankful that she is not hurt. My mother would have killed you, Draco sighed. Let's take her to the safe house my parents are living in. We have to protect Granger, and hopefully we will get the answer.
Since when does his mother care about Hermione? I thought she pretty much only cared about her son.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
None of this makes sense to me.
I hope my son didn't annoy you, Miss Granger. I know that he could be a nuisance. Narcissa smiled and sat on the edge of the bed.
Hermione couldn't help but smile back at her. This was the third time she was meeting this woman. She literally already seemed so different than with her son.
It would be an understatement to say that, but yeah, he annoyed me a few times. Hermione looked at the door as Draco entered, scowling at her statement. What am I doing, her?
Her? What am I doing, her?
What am I doing, her?
When nobody answered her, Hermione looked around frantically. You aren't going to send me to him, are you? Please don't do that. He will use me against them, and I can't.
Miss Granger, we aren't going to give you to him, Miss Granger. What?
Wait, what? Did they say it twice? We aren't... Miss Granger, we aren't going to give you to him, Miss Granger?
Good English.
Yeah, I don't know. This is like one of those gotcha kids where you can't tell if English is their first language because of how their grammar is. Yeah. This person probably has a gotcha account.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, Narcissa got up and shook her shoulders. Hermione, the younger witch, looked at her. I promise you that we won't send you to him. Do you trust me? Narcissa's young.
No, Hermione.
The younger. Oh.
She nodded. Narcissa smiled down at her and said, Sar?
Sar? Is that any comments?
No. Oh wait, there's three.
Three.
Drake. Oh, it's... Oh.
No.
She nodded. Narcissa smiled and Sar down next to her. Okay, you are safe. You are in a safe house where me and my husband Lucius live. Nobody will harm you here. You are safe. Now you can tell me, what do you remember? What happened in the room of requirement, please?
Hermione nodded. I should probably start from the beginning. She told Draco to call the others as well, considering that they will ask about her afterwards.
Lucius, Theo, and Blazy entered the room a few minutes later and sat down on the couch. Draco sat on the other side of Hermione on the bed.
Hermione, before you start, please know that you can't call you-know-who by his name. There's a taboo on his name.
We know this. Taboo.
It was fine at Hogwarts because he couldn't enter it, but we have defected and he doesn't know where we live. So, just call him you-know-who, Narcissa told her.
These paragraphs are getting long.
Yeah.
Okay, Hermione took a deep breath and began. You know whose father, Tom Riddle, married a witch a few months after his son was born. He didn't know that she was a witch, but she told him just a year before their wedding. And he didn't have any problem. A year later, their son, Tobias Riddle, was born. He was a half-blood and was you-know-who's stepbrother. She continued, he married a witch called Kelly Smith. What an amazing, creative name. Like, we've got Hermione Granger, we got Draco Malfoy, we got Harry Potter, we got Kelly Smith. Yeah. When he graduated from Ilvermorny, which for those of you who don't know is the American Wizarding School, and their daughter was born on 19 September 1979.
Another indication that this was written from someone whose first language is not English.
Yes. I am sure you would all have guessed that their daughter is none other than me.
You know who knew that they had a child, but he never got to meet her, that is, me, as we went into hiding as soon as I was born.
How many times is she gonna say that is me after she says, like, the daughter? Just say me. Just say I. Just speak in first person. Please. Choose your person.
I had the aura of both dark and light magic around me. I could perform dark spells nicely. My father told me that my one choice can change the fate of the wizarding world. When I was about 7, some Death Eaters found out about our hiding place. We fled before they could capture us. We lived in the Muggle world during that time, and the Grangers were our neighbors. My parents told them everything and gave me to them. They had to leave, and I grew up with the Grangers. I found my parents a few weeks ago, who send them to a safe house.
And send them to a safe house.
I'm sorry, the English is really bad, so my reading is even worse.
It's getting worse and worse. The English is getting worse and worse as it goes on.
I heard people saying that you know who wanted to find the lost princess, or the riddle princess, whatever you want to say, Hermione finished.
Nobody said anything for a few moments. Did you know who threatened you in any way? Draco asked her. Oh, he's getting all protective of her. How cute and disgusting.
Hermione nodded. He sent me an owl in our 4th year when he came back. He couldn't trace me with it due to protection spells my parents had put on me, but he just wrote the Riddle Princess on the letter, and the owl would find me. Technically, I am the Riddle Princess, as I am the Riddle Heir. He would threaten to harm my parents. I knew that he would be able to find them if he wanted to. I didn't know where they were, so I wasn't sure that I would be able to protect them. I had to spy on Ron and Harry and give them information, otherwise he would have hurt my parents.
Did you tell anyone? Lucius asked her.
How could I
tell? Jinx. How could I tell them? They would have immediately thought that I was a dark witch and send me to the ministry or something. And then everyone would have known, and you know who would have captured me. I tried not to give much information. I told him that we wouldn't stay in Hogwarts for the whole term, but I didn't tell him that we would go on a Horcrux hunt.
Right. Minnie McGee informed us that Weasel and St. Potter left today a few hours ago, and I think that they have gone on the hunt. And we don't know where they are, so you can't go. You will have to stay here, Draco sighed.
And then there's a note here. They are currently in 7th year, but the trio hadn't gone on the hunt yet. Narcissa, Draco, Lucius, Theo, and Blaise had defected, but Snape remained at the manor with Voldemort. Also, McGonagall became headmistress.
Okay.
That kind of explains things, I suppose.
Maybe a little bit.
Little.
Not really, though.
They're 17. Ow. They're 17, and I'm pretty sure that they are engaged.
Okay. So this is 8 months later.
8 months later. Eavesdropping, are you? Hermione almost jumped when Blaise whispered that to her. She scowled at him and led her to the kitchen.
Shortly after Hermione had arrived to the safe house, Narcissa had informed them that they would have to live in pairs in a different safe house.
In Paris?
In Paris? It
In
says
Paris.
pairs. So she and Draco are going to have to live together one-on-one.
Oh.
The Death Eaters were searching for them, and so they had to leave their current safe house. Narcissa and Lucius lived in a safe house together, as did Blaise and Theo.
Unfortunately, that meant Hermione would have to live in a safe house with the bouncing ferret Draco Malfoy. Ferret boy.
Ferret boy, little furry.
Yeah, furry little ferret
So
boy.
they're gonna live together, and then they're gonna end up falling in love with each other.
Yeah, or they'll kill each other.
Oh,
Better.
better.
I would love for them to kill each other.
That would be interesting.
She could have sworn that she saw Narcissa smirking when they shifted to that safe house. Sure, Draco had annoyed her for a couple of weeks in the starting, but slowly they started to tolerate each other and eventually became good friends.
That day, Blaze and Theo had arrived to meet them, and Draco had led Theo to his room. Blaze had went to the courtyard. Hermione was going to the kitchen because she heard Draco speak something to Theo. Speak something?
Speak something. The English is just getting better and better, isn't it? She couldn't help but listen to their conversation. Why were you eavesdropping on your crush, Granger? Blaze asked her. Ah, they know she has a crush now.
I was not Wait, Draco is not my crush. We are just friends, Hermione told him.
Told him.
Pronouns.
Blaze was like her best friend. She knew she could trust him. Even if I liked him, it doesn't mean that he likes me as well.
That kiss on the New Year didn't mean that, Blaze said.
What?
What kiss?
What kiss on the New Year?
Kiss on the New Year. How did you know about that? Hermione asked him. You and Theo weren't there that time.
Narcissa told us. She and Lucius were here with you. We're here with you both that day, and she saw you two kissing. Blaze again smirked at her.
This is painful to read.
I know, I hate it.
Hermione groaned when Blaze added, "Oh, she took a few photos as well."
Oh no. Oh. No. Just no. You know what he told Theo? You know what he told Theo right now? Draco said that he was just living with me and
was my friend because I saved Narcissa's life at the end of our 6th year, and she told him to take care of me and protect me.
He's just doing that, nothing more. Hermione shook her head. Oh, Granger. Draco is a terrible liar. I'm sure Theo would be telling him the same thing right now. He clearly likes you. We all know that. He has a crush on you since 1st year. But don't tell him that I told you, Blaze told her. How many times are you going to use the word told? Stop saying told. It gets old. Oh no, I'm rhyming. I hate rhyming. Ah! He still likes you, Granger. And he even yelled at me when he came back after I hit you with Flipendo.
I don't know, Blaze, Hermione sighed. You know who can attack us anytime, and I don't know what to do anymore.
You like him, right? Hermione nodded. Then tell him as soon as you can.
1 week later. You idiot! How could you do that? Did you ever think of what I or your parents and friends would feel when you did that? Hermione yelled at him as soon as she entered his room.
She would have come a few hours back, but since the idiotic ferret decided to push her away, and the Sectum Sempra spell Voldemort had aimed for her hit him, and they had to give him the dreamless sleep potion as he denied to take a rest.
Whoa, slow down, Granger.
I keep messing things up.
It's okay.
There we go.
I did what I had promised my mother that I would do. Draco sat up on his bed and as she sat next to him. Everything that I did was because of that promise.
You are a terrible liar, Draco, Hermione shook her head. Please don't tell me that everything you did was just because of that promise.
And if it was, Draco asked her.
Then I want more because I feel that it wasn't just that. There was another reason, Hermione told him. And if there wasn't another reason, then I want it to be there.
Are you saying that you like me, Granger, and want to be my girlfriend? He smirked at her.
We're almost at the end of the story. Is this how it's gonna end?
No.
This better not be how it ends. The story is terrible as it is.
Yeah.
That depends on whether or not you like me, because I know that I like you, and nothing would change that, she said. Good. He leaned in and kissed her, because I definitely want more. She grinned and kissed her again. Her? What? Well, then you already know my feelings towards you as well. And I know yours as well. And that's why, my dear, you are the brightest witch of your age. The end!
Oh my gosh.
That was awful!
There's a note at the end.
It's probably just technical. Like, see? At the end it's a date. It's like when it was published.
Does it say anything about how bad it was?
Let's see.
That's it for this one shot. It was 3,900 plus words. That's not a lot. I hope you guys liked it. I am sorry if it was a bit weird or escalated quickly. Random question. Favorite line of Ron Weasley? Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I wanted to tell you that this is the last one shot.
Good!
She made more. I mean, they made more.
Yeah. Okay, well that is it for reading this. Bye guys. Subscribe.
Bye. Make sure to subscribe. Yes.
Subscribe. Bye.
Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.